What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I think this is round two, round three, call it what you want. Nonetheless, I think we got the technical difficulties out of the way. I'm Rob Odie. I'm in Studio 39. You know what is the Bear Cave? And this is Spotlight 39. We got a real good one. It's a little different than the normal Coach's Hype Show. We're going to be joined by a handful of his dudes. We're going to be looking at some film, all that good stuff. So it's super important. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and more importantly, give this video a thumbs up so YouTube will continue to push this thing. These kids can get the exposure that they deserve, all right? Super important to do. Now that that's out the way, I'm going to plug the Darius Minor Foundation because that's what it's all about. We got a huge fundraising raffle. It's the PlayStation 5 raffle. For as little as $1 a ticket, you can own a PlayStation 5. These things are still incredibly difficult to get. I have it in hand, hanging out right beside me. I'm trying to give it away on Thanksgiving. You know, what better way to start off the holidays than with a PlayStation 5 at little to no cost? But all the funds go directly to the Darius Minor Foundation to continue the support and efforts of raising awareness for heart disease within student athletes. So very near and dear to the heart for a great cause, and you guys can own a PlayStation 5. So now that all that's out the way, man, let's get back into the show. I think we're good. We got some good internet. Here he is, my guy, Coach Marcus. One more time. This time, I'm going to let you formally introduce yourself, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about the program, the direction the program's going. Give me a snapshot of some of the guys that we're going to be looking at and talking to this evening. All that fun stuff, man. So go ahead. The floor is yours.
I'll try and keep this short. Coach Marcus, defensive coordinator of the Catholic Crusaders. Been coaching here for the last 13 years. Once I graduated from college, I played football collegiately at the Division I level. Played at University of Maine, spent some time there and transferred, finished up at University of Monmouth. So I'm well familiar with the Black Bears, bear down, black hole defense.
There it is.
I had a great time there. Still kept a lot of the connections with some of the coaches and some of the players. We're still very good friends to this day. I went back home, started coaching the local high school, working with some of the DBs, some of the linebackers, some of the D line. It's just something that just came natural to me because my last couple of years in college, I watched so much film that I thought it'd be great that, since, I'm one of the oldest guys in the room that, I can get up there and sort of teach some of the other guys what it is we're trying to do and what it is we're trying to accomplish. And then after that, enlisted in the Navy. I've been in 9 years. On September 11th, I hit my 9-year anniversary. My mother and father, they came in 1975 on September 11th day,
Oh, wow.
both in the Army. I got to my first duty station out in San Diego, and then I needed to, pick up some coaching again. So I went to go volunteer at Helix High School, working with the DBs out there. And that was a great experience out in California because you see all different types of offense. You see spread, West Coast, you can see wing T. You could just go to different places and you see different sizes and shapes of football players. You can see, fast guys, small, fast guys out there. They're making quarterbacks at about 9 years old, where you can see them, identifying the mic, throwing the out route into the field. So it was an amazing experience. And then once I got stationed back here in Virginia in the 757 in 2015, did a couple deployments, and then I started to pick up coaching again. I started to do the little league, and then I started to take some of the kids from like second all the way to middle school. So they kind of stayed in the same program. So, to develop them, coached in some middle school. Then the opportunity came to move up to Catholic Virginia Beach. So I took that, and I'm in my second year there. The first year, it was a tough year with everything with COVID, and then we're putting, some of the games together. We had about 4 games. So as well as most of the schools around here, where we're just trying to scramble to put together a schedule. We put together a very competitive schedule. This year we got a 10-game schedule. We've played some great opponents. We've had Norfolk Christian, Norfolk Academy. I said Norfolk Academy and Portsmouth Christian, as well as Atlantic Shores. Those are powerhouses in our area. Nan Saban, Suffolk Academy. Everybody knows, George Pettaway.
Sure.
That guy's very difficult to stop. It's not impossible, but very difficult. And he's a very good player. he's a 4-star going to University of North Carolina for a reason. This week we're getting ready to play St. Ann Beltsfield. That's up in Charlottesville. We'll make the drive about 2.5 hours. We play tomorrow at 7. The team looks to be very good competition. Very big team, tall athletes, very athletic quarterback. A little bit of direction that we're heading is we used to be Bishop Sullivan. Everybody knows us as Bishop Sullivan. So when we're ever out somewhere, people always refer to us as, "Hey, Bishop Sullivan, Bishop Sullivan." So a few years ago, they changed the school name to Catholic, and then that started to be where we're starting to start over and really start to build the program. Right now, we're looking at about 31 players, 2 seniors. So, and the majority of is filled in with juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. Which one of the freshmen you'll be talking to later?
Awesome.
Zay Lovegren, very, very, very good, talented freshman, as well as we have other freshmen that are talented too. Our head coach, John Harlow, I've known him for about 9 years. He's prior military. He was a mentor to me in the military and also as a coach. He's also the offensive coordinator. We also have Coach Eason, Coach Troy Braithwaite, he's the quarterback whisperer. The job he does with our quarterbacks, it's amazing to see the progression that they made from, just 6 months ago, because we played in the spring season.
Yep.
So we had those 4 games to now, and see the progression that they made is amazing. Also, as well as Coach Harlow, we have his son, Zachary Harlow. And I'm going to take this time to talk about that kid. For a 19-year-old, understand the game the way he does. That kid is a football savant. There are very few kids, 19, that can explain the game and understand a playbook the way Zachary Harlow does. I'm pretty sure right now he's waiting to go to another school. He's doing the 2-year community college thing.
Okay.
Going to transfer out and go to a school. I will say to any coach, you want this kid because he's like an extension of another coach on the field. He understands the playbook. He can get everybody where he needs to be. Great size, and you can do anything with a 6'6" kid. He's tall, very tall.
You can do a few things, right?
And really understand the game. He comes over to the defensive side with me, and he's somewhat of a liaison to be able to explain some of the scheme to the kids because he's younger, and so they can relate to him. As well as Coach Zachary Harlow, Coach Harlow's son. We have Coach Chris Elder. Now, this guy, I came in 2015 that I've been coaching against him. I've been coaching with him. If you ask me, he's one of the best developers of talent within the 757. He's a very good teacher. Always demands perfection. He always pushes everyone to the limit. He pushes me to my limits. He's one of the coaches that really understands what we're trying to accomplish on the defensive side of the ball. And I guess maybe because we have been competing with each other for so long that he sort of understands where I'm trying to get at, where I can start a sentence and, he can finish it. And that's our coaching staff for the future. What we're trying to build good young men academically, athletically. I think we're there because I will tell anybody I have some of the best athletes. It's just that I have 30 of them, where other than some of the top programs they might have, 50 to 60, athletes. But like I tell my kids all the time, they can only play 11 at one time.
That's it.
And once you get past the next 11, they got to bring in the next 11.
Yes, sir. Good deal, man. So
that's a little bit about our school and our program.
Yeah, so run us through before we bring on the first young man. Give us a short idea of what folks can expect to see from the young men that we're gonna have on tonight. I think we got 4 or 5 of them, and while I've got it, we got a handful of people watching, so I appreciate that. If you want, show some love, comment. I'll bring it up on the screen. Hype these kids up, man. That's what it's all about. So I figured I'd throw that out there. But yeah, give us a snapshot of the young men that we're gonna have on, and then I'm gonna bring on the first young man.
So from the 5 kids, what you're going to see is execution, dogs, For the one, we can start with Cody Perry. Cody Perry is like a silent assassin. He doesn't really say much.
So how about this? While you talk Cody, I'm gonna bring Cody on because I feel like he's been waiting a little while in the green room, man. So hype Cody up. While you hype him up, man, I'm gonna start the film because we got 3 minute film, right? So you go ahead, hype him up, and then we'll let Cody chat a little bit in the process. How about that?
Cody Perry, a warrior. He's one of the two seniors that we have. Really brings his hard hat and lunch pail every day. Some of the things that we ask him to do, he's pretty much a Swiss Army knife. A lot of the when any coach asks me about him, I know he has this film here. I will always tell them, look at the last 5 minutes of our last game last year. Now, this kid, he's the all everything and brings a lot of toughness. He's our defensive leader. He's one of the team captains. Like I said, a silent assassin, not too much yelling, really brings the boom, really brings the wood. He can tote the rock. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's one of my outside backers. He can play inside backer. He even plays DN. He can also play in a zero technique as a D tackle. So a lot of what he does a lot for us. And even last year, I had him playing some free safety. And I like this kid because, like I said, he's a generational talent that it's hard to replace a football player like him. Players like him only come around, once every 10 years with that type of temperament, with that type of demeanor.
Okay.
Just goes about it, handles his business. He's a leader that's about action. Not about not so many words, but action. And everybody knows, when he puts his hand in the ground, you expect that he's going to get the job done.
Okay. So I was gonna say, let me bring Cody in, man. So Cody, first and foremost, welcome to the show. I appreciate you jumping on. Right. Let me make sure I throw your Twitter handle up there. That is my fault. I've got a lot jumping off. Let me make sure I got the right one. Bang.
Here we go, right here. Like,
Yeah.
toting the rock, falling forward, bringing the boom. As you see, a lot of players just bouncing off of him.
Good deal. Good deal. So Cody, man, while we watch this, what would you say is something that you took away from last season, right, and really put effort in this offseason to get that much better at, to sharpen the iron or perfect your craft? What was that one focus area for you?
Probably more like my agility.
Okay.
Because I was lacking on that a little bit last year. Because if you watch my highlights from last year too, you'll see when I run with the ball, I'll just run in a straight line and just try my hardest to not get tackled. But this year I move a little bit more. So.
Okay. So with that, man, what would you say? I'm just going to run this back so it's playing. What would you say is an area of opportunity that you've recognized this season that not necessarily to say that you're not good at it or whatever that terminology may be, but what is something that you want to you've recognized that you really want to sharpen come mid-season now that we're coming into the second half of the year?
Definitely using my hands more on defense. I used to just try and run through everybody, just a little bull rush, maybe extend my arms, but now I actually use my hands and I don't let the offensive player touch me.
Okay.
So I try and use my speed a little bit more.
All right. Good deal. So before I get you off of here and bring on your teammate, man, what can we expect, for the second half of the year, man? What are you going to bring to the table? That's a hard question.
A lot more than, yeah. I'm just going to give my 100% and just do whatever I can to help the team be successful.
Okay.
Coach Marcus, he's asked me to play D tackle a lot this year, and I've stepped in, like he said, at the zero technique, and I've done a little bit of damage. I played some D end. I played inside backer, outside backer. I played running back and tight end on offense. Done a little bit of everything, really.
All right.
And I'm hoping I can just do whatever I can.
Yeah, man. So that goes back to Coach saying that you're pretty much a Swiss Army knife, right?
Yes, sir.
A man of many talents. Good deal, man. So look, this is our guy Cody, right? His social handle is right above his name. Make sure you check him out. Give him those eyes, man. if if this is what you're looking for in your program, somebody that's hard hitting,
Oh, that was right there.
yeah. Look, man, coach is enjoying the film session, but yeah, man. So I
Yeah,
appreciate you jumping on.
I like a lot of film from my players.
Yeah,
It gets me going, especially when on the defensive side of the ball, watching him get off the ball and cause a fumble and recover it on himself and covering himself. Like, he really makes big plays, and you really can't measure the impact that he makes. Like, it's going to be hard for me to actually replace, that personality. Like,
for sure.
you only get those once every 10 years, and even when you do come across it's close.
Okay. So look, Cody, man, I appreciate you. This was a short snapshot of who you are and what you represent. I'm going to extend an invite to you and everybody that's on the show tonight, man. If you want to do a one-on-one, where we can spend more time and you sharing your story, man, I got an open door, man. Just reach out to me. We'll get you on the calendar. But I'm going to bring the teammate up now, man. If you, Marcus, you happen to know who's next, or should I do a little digging?
Big John Custis.
John.
Tank.
All right. So let me get him queued up. Cody, again, man, I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So let me cue him up. Take Cody off. You said John. Bang, bang. There it is. Look, we are live, man. Welcome to the show. You got zero prep time. I apologize. Anywho, he got the 12th man flag, man cave popping off in the background with the LEDs, looking fly, looking sharp. So let me start this film over, man. We're gonna play this film. Coach is gonna hype you up, and then I'm gonna do exactly what I did with Cody, give you an opportunity to kind of talk a little bit about yourself as far as your game. All right. So, Coach, go ahead, take it away. What are we seeing in this 2 or 3 minute film session, and then I'll get to my man. You said John.
Big John Custis.
Yeah, let me
plays the tank position on the defense. Plays DN on a 4-man front. I can have him playing, D tackle, 1 and a 3 technique. And if you're watching the film, it pretty much speaks for itself. 6'5" kid, around 260, quick hands, quick feet. Kid runs track. There's a play in there where you see that one of our guys got an interception, and the guy we have is pretty fast because no one throws at him, but you see the only person that can catch him is Big John.
Okay.
Really, and on that film where you're seeing is he can take on double teams. Always that mantra, 1 man can't block me, 2 men can't move me. Plays some offensive line. Really gets out in front of the blocker, really gets out in front of the runner, and really creates some running space for him. Really, just a flat out dog.
Okay.
Great hands. Always gets home on the pass rush. In the run game, he plays his responsibility well. Something that we have a matchup this week that I think that he will be able to exploit. Playing in the role he'll be playing. For this kid, and like all my kids, like, hey, if you're getting this kid, you are getting raw talent, size, and speed. There's not a lot of kids that have this kid that has his size and his speed, his wingspan, and his hands, and just his IQ and what he's able to retain. Since the time that we've had him here at Catholic, because he came over this year as a junior, he's been able to retain so much information, and he's had so much strength and raw ability that paired up with really teaching him how to play the game. He's really coming along. Really somebody that I really can think make a lot of noise at the next level, whatever school he goes to, whatever coach gets this kid, he's really going to be a difference maker for any program that he goes to.
Good deal, man. So Big John, right? Coach, he speaks pretty highly of you, man. So let's do this, man. Give me a snapshot or an idea of what your focus area was this offseason. What did you focus on, and how has that transitioned to the field so far this season?
Since we're definitely getting faster, stronger, and like Coach Marcus said, getting better with using my hands.
Ooh, look at that!
Kind of just like Cody. I used to kind of just try to run through blocks instead of using technique, and Coach Marcus has definitely helped me out a lot with that this year.
Okay. Yeah. So how's it transitioned into the field so far?
You can see it right there.
Coach is
it's
just
a lot.
jumping in, man. He's fired up, ready to go, and that's my bad, man. I get caught up in the conversation, and my phone goes
Yeah,
black.
hey, I'm sorry. Like, hey, like, I just get excited for my players, and one thing that I definitely forgot to mention is really how smart this kid is. On the academics. He has a really high GPA. I think he's up there at one of the top GPAs on our team. So you
Okay,
got size, speed, academics. They're all at an elite level with this kid.
cool, man. So Big John, what do we
Oh
get
yes.
to look forward to in the second half of the season, man? What are you gonna bring to the
Uh,
table?
hard question.
Yeah,
Uh,
more
just gonna,
explosiveness, more pick
yeah, more
sixes,
explosive. Keep giving it my all.
more.
Definitely.
Okay,
Gonna try to get a couple sacks in there for sure.
okay, good deal, man. So look, I appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, we got to watch your film basically twice. So, Coach, who's up next? Big John, I
Alex
appreciate you.
Rios.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Alex Rios, the wild man.
The wild man, Alex.
Yeah.
All right,
The
Alex,
the,
Alex.
the
My man, can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me get your name queued up here.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, I hear
perfect.
you.
So I got your Twitter handle popping. It looks like the new thing, man. I got to step my LED, game back up. Everybody got the bright lights going, man. I did that for a little
Yeah,
bit. Let me make sure I got your highlight pulled up. So while I'm pulling this up, man, I'm gonna start with Alex. So he's got a speaking point because Coach B he gets fired up, man. So
yeah,
Alex,
I might lose my mind watching this one.
hey man, it's all good. So Alex, man, what was your focus area this off season, right? And what work did you put in, and how is it transitioning to the field so far?
so during off season, I really worked on technique. I was more of just a, you know, guns blazing type player. I just go at it. But now start using technique, build up just like weight, uh, muscle over the season. Try to gain at least another 20 pounds on me
Okay.
before the season starts.
So how's that transition and all that hard work? How's it looking so far this season?
Tell you, it got a lot easier. Uh, using technique in game practice, especially with our second string guys. Even though we don't have a lot, they all give us a look, and it's always just kind of helpful.
Good deal, man. So, Coach, I'm gonna bring you on now. I know you've been itching, so go ahead, give us the rundown, man. You got like 3.5 minutes left of this highlight to spice
Hey,
them
the,
up.
hey, hey, the film speaks for itself. He's one of the two-time winners of my Hammer Award. That's somebody that really brings the wood. This kid is always going to go get a piece of somebody. And in our first game, you're really bringing the hammer if you knock a kid's helmets off 3 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like as those highlights, you see him getting off the block, starting to read the block, whether it's a down block, double team, base block, and you see him just going to get the play. You're seeing him chase down quarterbacks, like the speed, the motor. I like I said, I have 7, and I've always told him even as a sophomore, like, hey kid, the things, everything that you're showing, you might have the best film here in the 757 with everything you're doing, because you can get to the ball. You can also run the ball. He plays some O lineman, and that really a testament to the type of teammate he is. Like, hey, if we need to win, you put me wherever we need. What's ever going to be helpful for the team. A very selfless player always puts the team above self. Like I said, in those highlights, like you just see him just firing off the ball. One of like the quickest get offs that I've seen. And what the plan for him is, he can get down, he can stand up, he can play in a wide 9, he can play in a 5, he can play in a 4-eye. He played some outside backer. I even had him playing some free safety manned up against George Pettaway last year, and he did phenomenal against him.
Okay.
Getting on the jam, getting off the bubble screen, going to make the tackle. Kid does a lot.
Good deal, man. So I'm gonna come back to Alex, man. So what do we get to look forward to the second half of the season? You got a big game coming up in Charlottesville where y'all get to travel a couple of hours, right, out of town. So what do we get to look forward to for the second leg of the season?
Definitely more intensity, more highlights.
Okay. Short and sweet, man. I like it. I like it. So look, Coach, who's up next, man? Alex, I appreciate you. I'm gonna bring on your next teammate. All right.
All right, thanks for having me.
The
Yes, sir.
electric sophomore, Seth Burnham.
Seth. So unfortunately, Seth is not on, but our guy Isaiah is. How about that? We're gonna call an audible. We're gonna bring on Isaiah. How about that?
All right, we're gonna go with Isaiah Lovegren.
Perfect.
We call him Zay.
And then let me get
This
Isaiah's.
kid right here.
Yep.
We got you, Zay.
Let me make sure. Let me see which one. Nope, that's Alex. That's Seth. That's my bad. We're gonna get there. Here he is. Good deal.
Isaiah Lovegren. We call him Zay. Now, this kid's a freshman, right? And he's the quarterback of the defense. You know, sort of when we started working together in June. You know, I had a plan for him. Very high IQ, really knows how to play. You know, the position. And for a freshman, you know, sometimes that's a little bit unheard of that he's actually playing a linebacker position.
So we're talking to a freshman right now. We're talking to a young bull, right?
Freshman.
Okay.
Yep, talking to a young bull. So, in the highlights, and you see against Christchurch, you know, he had himself. I think he led the team in tackles. He had 8 tackles, and we're not talking about 8 assists. We're talking about 8 solo tackles.
Okay.
And that's a testament to IQ that he has. You know, great size for a freshman, being 5'10", 195. But after eating mom's home cooking, he's probably around 200 pounds. Really strong kid for a freshman.
Look, man, 757. We got the seafood, right?
Back to my defense being. Hey, yeah, man. Like, he's the quarterback of the defense. He's somebody that I can get the signals into, and really has the responsibility of echoing those calls to the D linemen and getting it to the DBs, going to make the play. Seeing a lot of film where he's reading the play, he watches a lot of film. He even totes the rock, got great footwork, gets downhill. He can make people miss. But at the backer spot, that is something that I'm glowing about him as a freshman, because as my goal for him for next year, he can pretty much run the defense because he understands what needs to be done. Really knows how to get to the ball, has a knack to sniff out where the ball carrier is. I can put him with multiple responsibilities, not just in an A gap, B gap. I like to teach him, and he's really caught on to it. Like, hey, what you're searching for, you're looking for open windows, and you're going to go shut them. And for a freshman, really does a great job of it, and really somebody that when these 4 years are complete, really someone that really is going to be at the next level. Whether it's a running back or at a linebacker spot. Like, this is a kid that knows how to play the middle linebacker spot, knows how to play in pass coverage, understanding his drops and where he needs to be.
Good deal, man. So let me bring him in, right? So first and foremost, welcome, right? You get the opportunity to show some love, right? First of all, are we an Eagles fan, man? I got the green lights popping off in the background. It's Thursday Night Football, so I'm gonna go. Even if you're not an Eagles fan, I'm gonna go with you're an Eagles fan because of the green color, man. But
no, Coach, I'm a Bucs fan. I'm a Bucs fan.
Look, man, conversation over next, young. No, I'm playing. So let's do this while the tape's playing. So talk to me. I would ask you about your offseason, right? But it probably wasn't quite as intense, or maybe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but give me an idea of what your offseason looked like. What was your focus area getting ready for your freshman year in high school, and then how's that hard work transition to the football field so far?
Really, it was just me getting in the gym, working on my strength, my agility, just being more explosive, to work on breaking more long runs and getting more tackles for loss, squeezing through small gaps, and just being more explosive at linebacker spots.
Look. And we're speaking to a freshman. Did you hear how high level that was? That was remarkable. That was 100% remarkable.
For a freshman, one of my most consistent and solid players, and he's a freshman.
I like it.
He's a freshman.
Look, man, I like it. And look,
freshmen don't make plays technique-wise at a position how he's playing it. If you're watching this film, for anybody evaluating, I put it against anybody. Like a lot of people, you might have a freshman that's like 6'4", 250, but he really knows how to play the position, has great technique.
Man, oh man. So look, I'm just gonna do a public service announcement. Seth, if you're watching, man, dial back in so I can bring you up next. Or if anybody's watching can plug into Seth, let him know that we're ready for him. So while we still got you, while we wait for Seth to jump on, man, what do we get to look forward to the second leg of this season, man?
Oh, a whole bunch of tackles for loss, sacks, forced fumbles, more explosive runs for me, maybe some interceptions in there.
Okay. Good deal, good deal. So look, while we wait on Seth, man, I'm gonna give you the floor one more time, Coach. If you wanna throw some tidbits or snippets of what you already didn't share, that we'd like to learn about my man right here, because the IQ's there. I mean, he speaks very high level.
About Zay?
Yeah.
Oh, like, hey, man, like I said, with all my players, the proof is in the pudding. The film speaks for itself and how much work that he puts in. Just a couple months ago, he was coming out of the 8th grade, and he's really made a big jump for some of the teams that we play. Like some of these tackles that he's making. We went through a stretch where we went through 3 Division I caliber running backs against some of these teams, and he's out there really holding his own as a freshman. So now when he becomes when his peers and they start to get in their junior and senior year, he's going to be dominating. Like he's really turning this point. He's really turning that point, and that's something that I see for him. In this next half of the season is really dominating because now he's really, really understanding the defense to where, I'm trying to get my shine on social media, and a lot of the pictures on social media, he's in talking to me or I'm talking to him. Not a lot of freshmen can articulate, what they can see in between series where I'll ask him like, hey, what were you getting there? And he was like, okay, they're down blocking, they're trying to reach and get to the next level. And then, we can sort of make that adjustment, right there. And then I can, echo to him to voice to other people on the defense. And this is a freshman.
That's awesome, man. So look, my man Seth has joined us. He's ready to go. He's in the green room. Isaiah, man, I appreciate you jumping on. I'm gonna go with the Eagles fan green, even though you say you're a Bucks fan. Let's go Birds. I just got the notification. My man Jalen just threw a touchdown, so I'll take that. But let's get it to Seth, man. I appreciate you jumping on. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So my man Seth, if you could do me a solid, take and turn your phone sideways for me, just for better video quality, man. And then I'm gonna pull up your highlights here, and let me get Seth to do some talking first, Coach, because man, you get fired up. So while you get set up, let me. Yeah, no, you're good, man. While you get set up, I'll throw the floor to Coach, man. Go ahead, tell us a little bit about my man Seth.
Electric Seth. So who you're talking to is a sophomore, someone that when he gets the ball in his hands, like everybody's on their feet, and you usually get he's the type of player that'll get props from another team and another coach. And in the summer when we're out working, we're playing the 7-on-7, and he was out there doing his thing. He was out there cooking people, and they're like, hey man, what grade you in? He about to be a sophomore. He's just leaving 9th grade, and they're looking like, whoa. This kid right here always goes up and gets the ball. As you're seeing in this highlight here, very good deep ball threat, knows how to track the ball, really catches the ball the first time. He doesn't bobble the ball a lot. Kick return, he leads the team in reception yards, receptions, touchdowns. On defense, plays corner. He can play safety for me. He's a player that not a lot of teams like to test him because they see his running ability, his jumping ability. Like this kid, athletic ability is at the elite level, and he's someone that I can see, putting in the work. He can be a 4-star, by this summer.
That's huge. That is huge. So Seth, man, now that you're all situated, fired up, ready to go, right? Talk to me a little bit about,
Yes,
what you focused on this off season. What was your focus area, and how is that transitioning to the field so far this year?
During the off season, I was in the weight room. I was working out with some of the college guys, that went to our school. I was working with one of the former cornerbacks, getting my stance right, really just learning about how to mature my game and looking at the field the right way. Also worked with one of the receivers that graduated. He taught me about routes, how to position myself well. It's translated pretty well on the field. I'm able to see the things that they were helping me with. Coach Marcus has really helped me with corner on how to like to read offenses and stuff like that. It's just on the field to all come together in the right way.
Yeah, man, and just taking. I'm trying to juggle the phone to make sure it's still playing and all that. But from what I'm seeing in the film, man, thoroughly impressed with the dudes that's been on the show. I mean, you got some young. You started off right. You had Cody on. He was the old head, right? He was the senior on the squad. But now we're talking to freshmen and sophomore dudes, man, that are just straight up balling out. And this is another example of another great young man who's put in a lot of work. Work with some great company, and the work is transitioning, right? It's transitioning to the field. It's working. He said, his vision's better, right? He can see the game a little bit better. He's able to read the offensive, scheme a whole lot better, and the work's paying off. So, Coach, man, what are highlights, of my man Seth, and then I'm gonna hand it back to him to tell us what we can look forward to the second half of the year.
For Seth, I see more electric, more plays like this with anybody that we go against, like even some of the top teams, kick returns, and I'm like, for a sophomore, that's big to score in the manner that he does and make some of the spectacular plays as a sophomore, and even as a freshman, he was making these plays, and this is a kid that hasn't been playing football for that long with that type of athletic ability. You would think that he's been playing football, since birth. But his basketball, he uses a lot of his basketball skills. Like this is a kid that can jump out the gym. And if you're seeing some of these plays, you're seeing most of everybody celebrating their long plays where he's like jumping over somebody, like running.
Prime example right there.
Catching the ball. Like this kid, like I said, putting in the work, and that's some of the me and Coach Harlow's goal for him is, get out there and put the work, and we're going to push you to those limits, because this is like a lot of our kids. He's somebody like by this summer, he can be a 4-star, as well as, John Custis, as well as Alex, and as well as Zay. They're putting in the work, they're going to be high up there. Like I said, hey, the proof is in the pudding. From the little bits that you've seen over at Catholic, we have some of the best athletes in this area.
I can dig it, man. I can dig it. So let's go back to you, Seth, man. Tell us what we can look forward to, for the second leg of this season.
I'm hoping to get a couple hundred more receiving yards, some more touchdowns. I'm really hoping to like work on my tackling and open field tackling, and I'm hoping to get some interceptions, hopefully some pick sixes to put on that highlight reel.
There we go.
And that's about it.
Good deal, man. Perfect, man. So, Seth, I appreciate you jumping on, right? Coach, it was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure. You brought on some great dudes, man, with some great film, great talent. Like I said, open invite to any of these fellas or any of the other dudes on the team that want to have a one-on-one conversation where they get to dig a little deeper and sharing their story. I got an open door, open invite, man. Just reach out. We'll get them on the calendar. So I'm gonna close this thing out, man, because I got a Penn State commit coming up next, man. It's gonna be another good conversation. So make sure you jump back on, tap in, right? So, Coach, it looked like you got something else you want to get off your chest. So I'm gonna give you the floor one last time. I'm gonna close it out once you do so, man.
Oh, I want to say also, thanks to the parents and their support. They're some of the best parents that we have. The parent support, some of the best that we have in the 757. Without a lot of them, we wouldn't be able to, achieve these things. As well as the teachers, we're both together, and what our goals are for the players, and we're always in constant communication. Thank you to the trainers, Miss Heather. They do a good job of keeping our players, healthy and getting them in the field, because hey, we only got 30 players. So we got to make sure they're always and they're staying healthy. Big shout out to all the coaches, Coach Harlow, Coach Eason, Coach Zach with the football savant. I got to send a big shout out to Mama Harlow, Stephanie, because if I don't, she'll probably kill me.
Good deal, man. And look, shout out to Black Bear Nation, right, man? I can't leave that unsaid, man. You know, small world, right? We get to link up. You know, had no idea about who each other was. We had a good phone conversation, learned a little bit about each other, and you know, come full circle. You know, we both rocking with the Black Bears. So, Coach, again, it was a pleasure. You know, I would love to run this back in the very near future. We can invite some other dudes on. We can do the same thing, man. We'll have another party. But again, I got a Penn State commit coming up next. Make sure you tap in. I'm gonna close this thing on my man Darius Minor like I do every single time. I appreciate